What's up, Helldivers? With the new patch coming out, we got a new mission type for Helldivers 2, and that's the Terminated Control System, or TCS. Essentially, we have to land on the planet, activate the TCS, charge 3 different batteries, and then activate it before extracting out. And I've noticed a lot of people are struggling to complete this mission, so I figured let's go over how to beat this mission. The video footage you see here is from my recent gameplay. We are doing this on Helldive mode. This is completely with randoms, no team chat, no communication, and we managed to finish the mission. Now, there's a few reasons I think that people are struggling with this mission. One, because the mission type is kind of unsimilar to any other mission type we've done before. And with the balance patches, I don't think people have really settled into the new meta that is being ushered in with the heavy changes. So let's talk about the new mission type first. So this is kind of a defend the area, whereas in other missions you either run to like destroy the terminated eggs and you're just running in, throwing down a stratagem and running away, or you need to activate a console and then run away. This you have to defend a solitary structure against attack. And the first big change is that stratagems affect the health of the objective. So if you're throwing down the 500 kg bombs on the objective, you're going to see yourself failing this over and over again because as you're calling in objectives or firing rockets at it, you are causing team damage to the objective, and if you do that, you will lose. So you need to be really careful about what stratagems you're bringing in. If you're bringing in your usual 500 kg bombs or anything that's got a huge splash damage, you might not be able to use it as much as you think because these enemies are going to be around the towers and the objectives 90% of the time. I know a lot of people are also used to going lone wolf and running off and doing their own thing. I have heard that running 2 or 3 of the batteries at once can split the enemy forces, but I have not actually seen anyone pull that off. For the most part, the teams that have been successful are all 4 people at one point working together. Speaking of working together, this mission does seem basically impossible to solo, so let's talk about your stratagem uses here. We've already talked about that you can deal splash damage to your own objectives, but we haven't talked about is the changes that were made in the last patch. Specifically, less heavy armored units spawn, but still the same amount or even more enemies will spawn. So instead of 2 chargers spawning, you might get 20 or 40 hunters or a bunch of little spewers or different things like that. And what that means is that we need some people to clear out the chaff. It is very easy to get 100, 200 bugs on the objective at once. And again, when that happens, you can't just call down a stratagem and kill them all because it'll take out your objective. So your team's going to have to coordinate. Some people are going to need to bring anti-tank material. You're going to need a recoilless rifle or your auto cannon, your EATs, something to take out the chargers and the bile titans when they do spawn. But at the same time, you're going to need someone to bring in some stalwarts or some flamethrowers to deal with all the extra chaff because there is a lot of bugs spawning at once here. And the Bile Titans are extra deadly on this map because the Bile Titans spew also impacts the objective and can pretty much single-handedly destroy the objective if it just sits there and spews on it. What this creates is a situation where your team needs to know what they're doing, what roles they're filling, and do those roles. If you're on Bile Titan duty or Charger duty or heavily armored unit duty, then you need to be focusing on those guys because if multiple of them spawn, then that objective is going down. If you're on chaff duty, then you need to be clearing the chaff over and over and over again. Turrets are a great stratagem to bring on this one if you know how to place them. Again, you can destroy your own objective. That means you can't just throw the turret down willy-nilly next to it because it's just going to point at it, shoot it, and destroy it, especially if it's an autocannon or a mortar. Rather, if you place the turrets sort of away from the objective where the bugs are spawning in and you can stop them from getting to swarm the objective in the start, as you can see here, there's some guys way out there, a turret out there would be able to prevent some people from coming in without harming the objective itself. This is also the kind of rare mission where I will suggest heavy armor. Since they did finally change the way armor works, you're not really going to be running around and kiting too often on this map, as you'll find yourself running in circles around the objective, which of course causes you eventually to catch up to the other side where there's already monsters, and then you get encircled and die. Rather, heavy armor, especially heavy armor with extra padding, means that you can take the brunt of these attacks and do okay against them. Again, if they're attacking you, they're not attacking the objective. I definitely have a hard time recommending certain stratagems on this map. The 500 kilogram is just too easy to blow up your own objective on, so I hesitate to offer that one. The arc rifle, as you just saw, very easy to kill your allies with, and again, you're all going to be very close together and running a circle around this objective. It's not suggested on this map, I don't think. Even the flamethrower, I would say the stalwart's better, because as you use the flamethrower, you're going to burn up areas and your allies won't be able to move through there without taking damage. Where the stalwart, you can fire for 21 seconds on the lowest RPM and completely clear out the chaff without denying area to your own allies. So to kind of summarize it, pick good stratagems, pick a strategy and stick to it with your team, and again, make sure to check your friendly fire. Do not hurt the objective because it already has so little health that throwing stratagems on it is a guaranteed loss. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. I do Helldiver news as much as it comes out, so stay tuned for more news on Helldivers. We have a new war bond coming out, and I'll be covering that in the next day or so. Good luck out there, Helldiver. Have a blessed day.